Hey guys, Jason here from Jason's Works. I know it's been a while and I do apologize, but I wanted to get this video out for the Ross pushers. But I also wanted to let you know what I've been doing, what I'm working on, and what I plan to work on for this year, 2018. First and foremost, I want to thank my cousin John for coming down. He drove a long ways to come help and get me set up with some cameras and different equipment so I can make these videos easier, so I can get them out there to you, get more of them out to you, and hopefully do some live streaming, which would be cool. But definitely check out my cousin's YouTube channel, Shakka Panda. It's really cool. He's a gamer and he's really good at what he does. I think you'll enjoy it. So definitely check him out. But a big shout out to him. So thank you very, very much. This wouldn't be happening without him. That's for sure. So okay, so Ross pushers, I want to talk about what I've been doing. I've been really busy, too busy for the videos, and I apologize, but been answering a lot of emails and taking phone calls and helping a lot of you guys. But I want to get these videos out to help reach more of you quicker and better. But definitely want to keep that up. So also been working really closely with Rio Grande. Been doing trainings out there twice a year, March and September, spring and fall. The classes are 3 days long, $450 and 10 students. It's really cool. I do offer one-on-one classes, but the Rio classes are really cool. Plus, you get to tour the facility, which is amazing. Also, side note, Skyler Jenkins also does classes too. We're both on the West Coast. He's up in Oregon, California, but he's got some really cool classes that he does as well. So definitely check him out. I'll put his link down below. So let's see, what else have I been doing? Working with other jewelers on different projects. I've got a few new tool prototypes that I'm working on. I think you're really going to like. And a bunch more kind of out there, but they're kind of Hail Marys. I don't know if they're going to work or not, but we'll see. We'll just have to keep chugging away at them. And yeah, I just been keeping busy and still making rings. I love it. But really want to help you guys get your businesses going with the coin rings. And that's one thing I really want to get going this year is start incorporating some more skills and different businesses I've done in the past I think help you. There was knife sharpening, mobile sharpening service is amazing. When I quit my job and been homeless, no money, I went straight to that to start making money. It's good money, and I was making between $50 to $200 an hour. I've got a really good process for sharpening knives. I learned it from making my own knives, making Damascus knives, and looking at different knife makers and their shops and what they did, and then incorporating that and some of my own ideas on how to sharpen knives very efficiently. So I hope to get a manual written on that and some videos done with that, and Damascus knives and things and such. So I think I talked about that in my first video that I did a long time ago. Not my very first one, but my first one here at the shop in California. So let's see, what else? So we got videos, knife sharpening, Damascus knife making, getting back into trail building. I used to work with the Forest Service. I'll see where that goes. But now for the main event, the Ross pushers. So these are the Ross pushers here. There's 3 sizes for the 3 different sized Swedish dies. When Michael Moller first came out with the idea of the Swedish wrap technique on Coin Ring Crafters on Facebook, I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, it's brilliant. I contacted him and asked him if I could play with the idea. And he said, sure, just give me some tools when you make them up. But no problem. And my first idea was there's got to be a way to press the ring all the way through the die here, just in one stroke, rather than having different plungers to press all the way through. Why don't you just have one tool that will press all the way through one stroke? And there it is. I couldn't figure out, I was stuck on like the idea of having like a spring steel. I like steel, but that would mess up your die, and I could never get a prototype made. It just didn't happen. And that's when a few months later, Ross Scafferi contacted me, and he said, "Hey, I got this new tool." He actually had two ideas, and he wrote up this beautiful report and contacted me and basically said, "What do you think? Feel free to test it, play with it, do what you like." Um, and just super nice guy, really brilliant guy. And I did test out the prototype. It wasn't quite what I was looking for. I tested a brass Fuji dollar, and it wasn't quite durable enough and too thin. So then I started scouring for different materials. I tried 4 or 5 different materials and came up with this one. It's durable yet flexible, hard but not too brittle. It's just about right, and very expensive. Unfortunately, I call it unicorn horn, shed unicorn horn, because it's hard to find and very pricey. But it does what it has to do for as a pusher, as a Ross pusher. So there goes the name, Ross pusher. Um, but I'll put Sam's website below so you can check him out. Definitely check out his site. Great guy. Makes beautiful rings and does all kinds of different stuff. But really cool. So the idea with the Ross pusher is that I would say it is a consumable, if you will. But if you take care of it and don't overwork it, it will last you forever. The weakest point is right here on the edge. If you press too hard, then you're going to chip that, and it can slip in. I'm going to show you some techniques. You don't want to have Teflon tape on here on the coin. I should do it like this. You want to cut that Teflon tape. I'll show you how, because the Teflon or pipe tape is actually a lubricant. It's designed to basically allow the thread of the pipe to be lubricated and get tighter. And that's the idea. So you don't want that Teflon pipe tape on the ring when you're pressing down. So that keeps the legs from sliding in. Let's see what else. I'm going to show you some other tips too. Skyler Jenkins has a great way of refacing the tip of the pusher. If you do chip it, then you can reface it. You'll have a brand new tool, so no need to get another one. I've got another way, but I think his is better, so I'll show you his technique. Let's see what else. I guess that's about it. Oh, the other thing is you don't want to work these. So these are for light to medium duty. And when I say light to medium duty, they're designed to go with that specific die, and for the ring or the coin that is designed for that die. So this die here is the 1.0, 1.4 Jason's Works Swedish wrap, and you can do Morgan dollars and silver eagles, so the bigger coins, through this die. Now, when you press down and extrude using your ring bearer, here's the ring bearer. Set it in like so. And you press down and extrude that coin all the way through, and you want to go smaller. A Morgan dollar will cut a size 10.5. And let's say you want to take that Morgan dollar to a size 6. So you're going to go to your next smallest die. But rather than using the next Ross pusher for that die, what you want to use is your brass plungers. There's 3 brass plungers per die, because the pressure is so great that the Ross pusher could be damaged, or the legs could slip in, or something bad could happen. Typically, if you're using an arbor press will let you know when things are tough. You have to either anneal or use a different technique to finish the job that you're doing. So I'll show you the arbor press here. Actually, I'll just switch over to hard. Then I know I need to go to the hydraulic press, and that's when I feel comfortable to do that. And I'll show you that technique in a little bit. I got a really cool Bonny Doon 20-ton electric press with foot control. I love it. A little pricey, but very nice. And it's overkill, but I'm also starting to make mokamegane, and I want to do some coining and different techniques, deep draws. I'm actually taking a class at Rio. to do that. So, but that's another story. But I'll show you the press. It's really, really fun, and we'll do some work on it tonight. So the first step, let's see, we're going to do a silver eagle. I was trying to figure out what coin to use, and I figure that's going to be the best because it's a little bit big for the first die. So I'm going to show you the trick to get it to fit, which is basically to reduce it in a 17-degree die first. And then we're also going to take it down as small as we can. We're going to extrude it through the quarter and dime Swedish die, which is 0.6 inch. Very, very small. So we'll basically be making a bead. It will no longer be a ring. So let's get started. I guess I'll punch the hole and go through the process. I probably won't show you every step. I want to just focus on the Ross pusher and the technique used with that, and how to protect it and how to reface it and those procedures. I'm not going to get into detail about actual ring making. That's I got lots of videos on that, and I'll do some more too. So for the new techniques that I have. But let's get started. So first and foremost, we have a 3/4 inch die, and here's the punch. And we're going to use, that's actually a Silver Eagle copy. There's a real Silver Eagle. Use that one there. I'm going to go date side up. That's a 2016. So not too much numismatic value on that one. Oh, and with a 3/4 and the 11/16, you want to actually feed the punch through the base of the top housing there like that. And I want to go ahead and lube it up a little bit. This will keep the punch sharp. And make it a little bit easier to cut. So place the punch in the top. I like to hold the punch and then set it down softly on the coin. And we'll go ahead and snug that up. Nice and tight. Okay, so you can use your brass hammer, but I want to go try that Bonny Doon press and show that to you. So let's do that. So here's the press. I love this thing. It's amazing. It goes up to 10,000 psi, but for the true psi, there's a calculation: pi r squared times psi equals true psi. And 2-inch ram, so the radius is 1 times pi. So you basically read the pressure that you have off of your dial here, right here, and then times it by 3.14. So let's see what we hit. And it's, I haven't annealed yet, so. So that was less than 1,000, a little less, so about 3,000 psi. But you notice that it didn't have a big pop on it. It just kind of sliced through, which is pretty cool. That's the design of these punches. I actually talked to Tim Sheriff at Swanstrom, and he liked the design. But it's hollow ground and angled so that it slices rather than puts all the pressure on the face of the punch and then pops it like you see on other punches. So I really like this design. It takes less pressure to punch big coins. So there's the plug. We'll take the coin out here. Got a nice, perfectly centered hole. Gonna deburr. Let's see here. Go ahead and just go there. So I'm gonna catch those shavings in my hand. And it's the basic process of folding and reducing from here. Ooh, that one there. And I haven't annealed yet. What I like to do is just press that coin down into the die to get it nice and flat and level. And then I'll take my steel starter cone first, set that in there, and press. And then we'll do the first anneal. Nice dull red. I got this little setup here. I kind of tuck it in the back so I can see the true color. Nice little dark spot back there. Let's grab. I got a bunch of tongs here. And we'll quench. Dry her off, and then we will finish the fold. Let's see, I started the fold in the 1.6. We'll finish the 1.5. Let's see if it fits. It doesn't fit. So that's what I like about my tools, is that if it fits, it'll work. You just got to find what fits. And we'll go back to the 1.6. And we'll finish up with the universal folding mandrel, which is here. And I like to add some dry lube to that. Keeps the coin from sticking. Make sure I'm over the slot of the arbor press. Set that in there. And we'll finish the fold. Easy as that. Pure silver is like butter, just too easy. So there is the folded coin. There it is. But you see, it doesn't quite fit in the Swedish die. So how do we fix that? Well, here's how we do it. We go over to the ring stretcher. I don't know why I like to reduce in the ring stretcher. I just do. You can do it in the arbor press, but I don't know. I like the ring stretcher because I think that it is a bit more accurate as far as being level and true and square and plumb and all that wonderful stuff. So that's the 1.5. I'm going to 1.4 now. Forward. Tap it a few times, get it nice and level. Should be fine now. Okay, let's check it in the die. Oh yeah, we're inside the die now. So I'm going to go ahead and anneal this, and then I'm going to show you the Ross structure. I'm excited. This is like, I've been waiting a long time to do this for you guys. I apologize again. Okay, so we'll anneal. So now we get to wrap. Set this up here. Let's see here. So the tape I'm using now is Mega Tape. That's because I had to invert the camera. Mega Tape. It's got a little knight on there. You can get it on Amazon. I'll put all the links below for all the tools I'm using. Oh, another tip on this. To my right, my left. Oh well, I'm using my right hand. But you put your index finger through the hole, and then tape on the back side. It took me a whole day to figure this out. And then it's much easier to wrap. And because this Mega Tape is so much thicker, it only takes a few wraps. So I've already lost count. I think I'm at 9, 10, I don't know, 11, 12, something like that. Where usually I would do like 40 wraps with that white tape. Now there's also another one, Frank Soler, I believe. He likes this monster tape. It's blue. Basically the same stuff, same thickness. You can get it in the same widths, 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1 inch. Yeah, I like them both, so I can't say one's better than the other. I started using the Mega first, so I'm kind of stuck on that one. And the gray is cool. I don't know, it turns black. So this is the reed side right here. You can see because it's wider. And what I'm going to do is show you how I like to cut this off. It's really quick, super simple. I take a 25-degree die that it fits in. So there's a 25. This is 1.3 by 1.4. We'll go 1.4 side. And let's see, a little more. There we go. Now I'll just hit it a few times, kind of tap it, and we'll see if it works. Got it a little bit harder. I've noticed that with the pure silver, it takes a little bit more force, but you can see where it just peels right off. A little bit easier on the 90% silver. But you don't want any of that, or not too much of that Teflon tape to be on that reed. So you want that Ross pusher to be directly in contact with the silver. That way it has more, actually has more friction and less, what's the word? Well, the pipe tape is a lubricant, so you don't want it to be slick. You want it to have that friction. You want that reed to grab that Ross pusher. So we're gonna do the we're gonna do the ring bearer and big Ross pusher. And where's the die? Okay, so there's the biggest die. Oh, coconut oil. Another good trick. It's cold right now, so this oil is hard. I broke the beaker that it was in. I just grabbed a little bit of coconut oil, and this tip came from Adam McKinney. He heard about it. Somebody coined in Crafters, and he forgot who it was. But he told me immediately about it, and I tried it. It's like, oh yeah, that is awesome. I know that the deburring technique you use animal fat, just because the petrol lubricants just don't work as good. And I haven't tried animal fat on this yet. I like the coconut oil; it's good for your skin. So I'm just going to stick with that, I think. But okay, here we go with the press. So we've got the pipe tape cut away from the reed. We're going to drop that in. We have it in the ring bearer. I'm going to see if everything's going to fit. It doesn't look like it will. So close. So I'm just going to press down first without the ring bearer. Now this is one of the biggest tricks right here. You don't want to just press all the way down and all the way through. What you want to do is do short strokes and then rotate just the Ross pusher so that the Ross pusher is in a different location on the ring each press. If you press all the way down with one stroke without rotating the Ross pusher, you take a chance of wobbling the ring, or the coin, the reed edge of the ring. So wherever the pressure is hitting the coin with the Ross pusher is going to press down first. So I found that you want to press down, short stroke, rotate, short stroke, rotate, just like that. You don't want to get overexcited. I usually do. Now we should be down far enough to be able to bring in the ring bearer, which we are. And I like to have the opening here just so everything is open. Nothing's going to get messed up. It extrudes through. I'm going to bring the camera down so we can see. So we're rotating. Now the coin is work hardening as we're doing this. You got to keep that in mind. If it becomes too hard, especially if you're using like brass or even a 90% coin, you may have to anneal, but I found that you don't need to with this technique. So, oh, and another trick. It's a little tricky to get the tape off. So I'll go back to the 25-degree die. I'll need a smaller one now since we're getting tiny. I'm going to cut the tape off the other side. A couple of presses, pops right off. And then you find that edge and just roll it off. And look at that. That is presto. There is a Silver Eagle size 10.5 coin ring. And you really don't have to do much after that. For size 10.5. You could take it to probably a size 8 or so, 10.5, 3, yeah, maybe a 7, 6.5. If you use your 17-degree dies and then switch out to your 25. But what we're going to do is how small we can get this sucker. So I'm going to anneal it and then wrap it again, and then we'll press it through the next smallest Swedish die, which is the $1/2. But we're going to switch out Ross pusher anymore. No more Ross pusher. We're gonna have to switch over to the brass because we want to protect that Ross pusher. It's too much pressure. I'm going to try it in the art press and see if it'll work. So let's do that. Okay, so we have an annealed Silver Eagle. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up again, and we're going to switch over to the brass to press through the medium or the $1/2 Swedish die. Go ahead and wrap this guy up about a dozen times or so. There we go. Now, a couple more for luck. And I like to use a tape that's wider than the coin ring. If you use one that's just the right size or a little bit narrower, you're going to have to double wrap. And that means that either side is going to have a single wrap and the center is going to be double wrap. So you're actually thicker in the center. So that's going to press down and actually create a anti-clastic ring, which is actually kind of cool. But if that's not what you're looking for, you don't want to do that. And I'm going to, okay, read sides on this side. I'm going to keep the tape wrapped over the both edges to protect the reed and to keep this tape from peeling up and over and exposing the ring to the sides of the die. Let's see, coconut oil, here we go. We'll get you set up over here. So now we're going to the next smallest size die, which is 0.8 by 1.1. Throw it in there. Everything fits good. Get some a little more coconut oil going. Love this stuff. Okay, so no more Ross pusher. We're increasing in pressure, so I'm going to grab the 3 brass plungers for that specific die. Clean this place up a little bit. Okay, so that's obviously going to fit. It's the first plunger. So first plunger is the shortest plunger, and these plungers. Where are we going here? There we go. All right, these plungers here, they're designed so that these are the tall brass plungers. They're designed to where you cannot overpress them and damage them by pushing them into the die with a hydraulic press. When they bottom out, I'm sorry, not bottom out, but when they are pressed all the way down, your pusher is going to hit the die, and it won't be able to push this any further. That's when you know you can switch out to the next one and then switch out to the one after that. So we'll press the first one. Get that centered, and we press. I love that. It's just so cool. Now what you can do, I'm going to try something different here. This is pure silver, so it's really soft. So I think I can get a full press without annealing. What I usually do, you want to play it safe, you would unwrap this, use a 25-degree die to press this down the reed side so that it'll fit over your next pusher, especially if you're using a thin coin like a quarter or dime. That's what I would usually do, but I want to try something different here. I'm going to flip this around and use that large pusher again to press that reed side on the bottom side down. And that's going to narrow it up. So this is a new experiment. Ah, look at that. It cut that tape off. Dang it, that's not going to work. So, because we want that tape to protect that reed against that brass. But it's the right size. You could rewrap, I guess. Let's try that. We'll rewrap. I can feel it work hardening though. So we probably will have to anneal before full extrusion. I mean, look how small that is. That's just teeny tiny. Okay, so we're going to go to the second brass pusher. And I'm going to use a little rubber gasket to help center the brass pusher in the die so I know I'm dead center. Roll that down to the bottom. These things are inexpensive. You can get those on cheap. Okay, so we're second brass pusher. Right side up. Silver Eagle. Cinderella story. Out of nowhere. Feels good. Getting hard though. Oh boy. Yeah, it's getting hard. Okay, we're gonna have to. It's not screwed up already. Actually, it looks really nice. Oh yeah, look at that reed. It's beautiful. So the second wrap was good to do to protect that, but I'm pretty much maxed out. I was going 90% of my strength with the arbor press. So we're really getting down there. So I'm going to go ahead and anneal. I want to do full extrusion with the arbor press, but then to go to the next die, I think we're going to need to go to the hydraulic press. So, and I'm going to cut that tape off. Die. This is 1.0. That's cool, man. Look at that. Detail still there. You do get a little bit of a kind of like an orange peel with the pure silver when you get this small, but I mean you can still read everything. Cool, it reads perfect. So going to anneal. Remove all flammables. Had a little delay on the quenching there. The water's probably getting warm. Not too warm. Sometimes it'll go. You gotta wait for that big to go, then you know it's quenched, or at least cool all the way through. So what size are we? I don't even know. Let's see where we're at. We're size 4 3/4, super small. You can see the cone shape. If I was making a ring, you could take this down to a size 2 easily, just where it is right now by going either finishing in the Swede if you want a straight band ring, or take it to a 17-degree die and then to a 25-degree die to get more of a fat tire or synclastic look on the ring. But we're taking this down as small as we can to a bead. So we're annealed. We've got to use the brass pusher now for the third Swedish die, and we'll use the hydraulic press. I might try the arbor press. I'll try the arbor press just to see what pressure we're at. But I know we'll have to finish with the hydraulic at the end for full extrusion. So let's see. Let's measure the next plunger. I'm gonna reduce this down a little bit to match that next plunger size. So we'll go in the 25. No, I'm sorry. We'll go in the 17. It's going to be less pressure. If it fits, it works. Looks like it fits in the 1.0. 17 degree die. Nice and soft. Very squishy. There it is there. And yeah, look at that. Perfect fit. And we'll use that rubber gasket, excuse me, to center. So third die. We are getting tiny. So there's the egress and the ingress, egress, I can't remember. That's the, where you push it in, it comes out. It looks like it's going to fit just fine. So let's wrap it up and get the coconut oil on there. Coconut oil, where is it? There it is. And I'll try it with the arbor first, but we'll be switching out to the hydraulic. The end. Okay, that. So many tools. Getting small. And it won't even fit on my pinky, not even past the first knuckle. I guess it's considered a bead now. Better to overwrap than underwrap. Okay. As long as it still fits in the die. One cool thing with the mega tape, it takes less wraps, so it won't fit. I got to take a few off. There we go. That'll work. Okay, so we'll try it on the arbor first, but knowing that we will have to eventually get to the hydraulic press. Nice and centered. And we press. One trick, now that the hole is so small you can't get your finger in there, I just use the smallest brass plunger to push it out. Man, look at that. That is super, super tiny. I'm going to go ahead and anneal every time, just to maximize the success rate. Cut that off, and then roll that off. Look at that sucker. Cool. Still read the date. And God we trust. Yeah, good detail. There we go. But we still got more pressing to do. But anneal next. Go from there. Okay, wrap it again. Getting super small. Kind of cool though to be able to make a bead out of a coin. I mean, now you're talking bracelets and deburring, pendants. Gosh, who knows? I mean, you could put it on the tip of a pin. Put it on a pool stick. I don't know, all kinds of cool stuff. I totally lost count. I have no idea where I'm at. But that feels good. Make sure and cover that reed. might want to cover that a little bit too. Let's see. So as it's getting, actually, gosh, I need a wider tape, but I've used all my 1-inch. This is 1/2 or 3/4. This is 3/4 inch. I should be going over to my 1-inch right now because I'm not getting full coverage, which I don't like. But we'll just have to work with what we got and hope I don't screw it up. All right, so where are we at? We're at the second plunger in the smallest Swede die. 3. Where did that plunger go? If I put it away, that's why I can't find it. Okay, that's too small or too big. There we go. I need to check the plunger size before I wrapped it, but I didn't. I'm going to press with that first plunger first, and then I'll finish up with the second. Okay, here we go. It's getting tight. Put a little mustard behind there. Okay, so I'm gonna. That's it. The choice now is either anneal again, which I didn't move very much. I mean, it's not very much at all. I moved. So, second choice is hydraulic press. So let's do the hydraulic press. I've got to be super careful with this guy because it is electric. I don't want to over press. I mean, the worst case though is I'm just going to press the die into the ring bearer into the base plate, so it's not that bad. You're not going to have any failures with that. But I just want the brass to be pressed down all the way. We got partial extrusion. That's cool. I haven't done this for a long time, full extrusion, so I did it on the first test run. Wow, that's tiny. I'm gonna push it back out. I don't know. Maybe. Let's try it. Cool. Ooh-wee. I kind of like to push the reed out at the very end, but honestly, I haven't done very many of these through the very smallest, the biggest coins through the smallest die. But that is super tiny. You can make a bead from right there. I mean, I would just anneal it and then take the 17-degree die and press the reed side down and then go to the 25 and just make that sucker beautiful. I'm wondering this is the smallest brass plunger here, and I'm going to try pushing that reed side down through and extrude it through all the way using the smallest plunger. I will anneal it, but we got coverage on that sucker, and it's like perfect. And with that rubber gasket, it'll center that sucker just right. So that's cool. Super duper tiny. So we've got the sucker annealed. We're gonna wrap it up. Now it's getting. I wish I had that 1-inch tape. Dang it. It helped get that anti-class shape out of it, but with the larger, wider tape, I'm gonna have to double wrap over both sides. Well, I'm not worried about the reed side anymore. So I still want to protect it a little bit. Yeah, I'll probably overwrap both sides, which will make it thicker in the center. So we may have that anti-clastic look when it extrudes out. I just want to protect those both edges from the brass, just in case. But remember, when using the Ross pusher, you don't want that tape on there because it will slip the Ross pusher. You want that Ross pusher to stay right there on the point, and don't overpress it. But man, I really, for most rings that I make now, I mainly use, I would say 80% of the time, the Ross pushers. It's so fast, so easy, so quick, so efficient. I mean, it's just awesome. Because you're not, most people I would assume are not going to be making these small of rings or beads. This is quite tiny. But it's cool to be able to do it, if you want to. All right, so I'm going to press this reed side down, full extrusion through the last die. This guy right here, using the last pusher. That guy there with the hydraulic press. Here we go. So not a lot of pressure on that. There we go. Cool. Pop that sucker out. See what we got. Man, that thing is tiny. Look at that. We got a little bit of that synclastic look, but you could fix that with, anneal it and press this through this 1/4-inch mandrel. That won't hurt the detail on the inside, and that'll flare out that. But yeah, I mean, that's a great example of what you can do. Reed is beautiful, super tight, tiny reed. I'm going to go ahead and anneal and press this with into a 25-degree edge. Just try to close up these ends. Let's see what happens. All right. So no need to wrap it. I'm just using the standard dies. Just have to make sure the die doesn't hit too high up on the bead. Now, not call it even a ring. 2016. That's cool. I'm going to take the camera over there too, so you can get a really close-up shot. Okay, so we are in. Wow, we're in the smallest die here, 0.7-inch die. And make sure I got the camera a good spot. Got to about 1,000 psi on the dial, just 3,000. Accurate. Wow, look at that. That's cool. So we can go a little more. I'm gonna try that side now though. I'm wondering, just put a little bit of urethane on there. Just want to protect that reed. I got a little bit of an angle going. Let's see what's going on here. That's not bad. That's cool. Let's go back to that one. Cool. I took it too far. Well, not too bad. You can still reach 2016. That die is so polished inside, it actually just burnishes. But there is a 2016 Super Eagle bead. Get some of that fire scale off and polish it up. I'm not going to finish it up, but just wanted to show you. That is cool, man. Too cool. In God we trust. I can't. It's so small. Inside, you could see the letters, but it's so tiny. In 2016, right there. Yeah, that is sweet. Look at that. Like a little silver pill. But yeah, so that's the capabilities of the Swedish die. You could take a silver eagle, that's 1.7 inches in diameter, and take it down that small and still have the detail on there. So pretty darn cool. So now I think what I'll do is show you guys some of the tips and tricks on keeping the Ross pusher up to par, if you will. How to keep it from it. Sometimes it'll bend in after a lot of use, and there's a way to keep it stretched out and nice and straight. And then also how to reface if you do chip the edge. So we'll show you that next. All right. Okay, so here is the trick to reface your Ross pusher if you chip the edge on it. And this tip comes from Skyler Jenkins. Make sure and check him out. That is a rock star, makes really most beautiful rings. But I had a different technique. I'm not going to show it, I don't think, to you tonight because there's a chance you could damage the pusher, and I don't want that to happen. So this is a much safer way of doing it. You just take your zip tie right here, like these guys, and tighten that sucker up so the legs are completely compressed in, like so. And yeah, you can see a little bit, I got a little edge there. It's not bad. No need for me to do this, but it's not going to hurt it. And here's a belt grinder I got. It's a 2-inch by 72-inch, way more than you need. You can just use a piece of sandpaper on surface. I mean, this is all you need. You don't have to go out and buy a belt sander. And just basically reface that edge. But this is a lot quicker, so I'll just show you real quick. So that's it. You just want nice and flat, nice and true, and that's a brand new Ross pusher right there. That's all you got to do. If you do chip any edge on there. Now you are, over time, if you keep breaking the edge, you're going to run out of Ross pusher, and you're going to have to get another. But if you don't overpress, and if you take care of it, and rotate, and well, the main thing is not to overpress, and make sure you cut that pipe tape off. Then these will last you a very long time. I'm still on my original set, but that is how I like to reface. These, you need to compress it down because the very ends of these are at an angle, and at a very specific angle. And if you were just to go up and just flatten it out like that, then it'll likely to chip on the edge. But because of that angle of when this is compressed, that angle is automatically put in. When you grind and when you take it off, it's perfect. So now you can see that there's a little bit of a taper going in this quite a bit. And so a good trick to get those legs nice and straight, take your 1/4 inch mandrel right here and stick that sucker in. You can see it pushes those legs out. And so I'll just set that in overnight. And when I come back in the morning, it'll have the memory of being straight again. So that's how every so often, I'll just stick that sucker in the Ross pushers and let it sit, and come back, and it's brand spanking new. So, but those are the tricks so far that I know on how to keep these guys in shape for making coin rings. So again, just to overview, make sure not to overpress. These are designed for light to medium duty and designed to work with the coin designed for that die, that Swedish die. If you go to the next smallest die, you got to go to the brass pusher. And then also, so not to overpress, light to medium duty work. And then to use the zip tie to grind yourself a new face if you do chip it. Make sure to cut the tape off the coin on the reed side when you're pressing, or any side, so that you're directly in contact with the coin and not the pipe tape, because the pipe tape is a lubricant. And what else? Oh yeah, just use that to refresh your Ross pushers. So yeah, I love these things. So thank you, Sam. I love it. I use them all the time. It's my go-to tool. I've also noticed that the Swede dies take out the wobbles on the rings like nothing else. If there's a wobble I can't quite get, I'll just press it through, and it 99% of the time takes it out, no problem. So, but yeah, so hope you guys liked the video. Really sorry it took so long to get out there, but I got it done. And hope you look forward to some more videos. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Hit the little bell to get a notification of the newest videos I do. Stay tuned for live stream. I hope to do that soon. And yeah, have fun making coin rings. It's a blast. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.